Salaki, give me a minute real quick. Hey, Shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out. Prophesy the downfall of Babylon, aka America, first and foremost. Honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Avakwal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and the sincere Shalom, all the Akim laboring in truth and sincerity and sound doctrine. Lord willing, is edifying. Just wanted to go into a quick topic. Nothing planned, but I'm going to speak on a few points. And Lord willing, is edifying. But, Salaki, let me see something. Shit. But as you see here, the topic of this lesson is we can't think of deliverance on a carnal level. So, and when we think of deliverance, we know the scriptures say the strangeness of our salvation. Okay, people can't fathom the idea of us being delivered out of this captivity via what is called UFOs, or identified flying phenomenon, or whatever the name Esau tried to change it to fit his narrative or his agenda. But when we meditate on the different deliverances that Israelites as a whole or individually, we think of the situations that they were delivered from, and showing the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and what he will do for his elect, okay? What he will do to who trust in him, fear him. The scriptures say, did any trust or fear the Lord and was confounded? That comes to mind. But we think of the different situations on where the Lord showed his power and delivered Israelites with those that were serving him and fearing him. Okay, you think on the level of Job, Shalom, Allah Akim tuning in, but Job was delivered out of Slaki. Yeah, well, you can think of Job. It showed the power of the Lord for him to lose everything and to keep his integrity and fear the Lord. Okay, but what we think of, I was thinking of meditating on Lot. Okay, Lot being delivered out of Sodom and Gomorrah before it was destroyed, and it showed the lack of faith or the lack of ability to think on a spiritual level of deliverance out of an impossible situation, because the woman showed her lack of faith by turning and looking back. When we get in this situation we're coming into, Jacob's trouble, looking back is going to get us killed. Thinking on the level of Lot's wife will get you killed. So it's proof that we can't think of deliverance on a carnal level, okay? And with us in this faith, it it puts us in the mindset of being, extraordinary. And yeah, Carnal, hey, that's the spirit, I was going to lead into that. It says, Zakar to Zion, Daniel feared Yahweh and was delivered out of the lion's den. And hey, if you can, Baba Kashal, put on the comment board, Salakia, but yeah, I was pretty much asking, if the brother could put on put on a comment board, what was it, Daniel? The three holy children in the fire, in the midst of the fire, and being Daniel in the midst of the fire and being delivered out of the flames, you know. But just thinking on impossible situations we're going to be delivered from, the type of mindset or thinking process you're going to have is on an extraordinary level. And the definition of extraordinary is very unusual or remarkable. Okay, when we go into the Merriam definition, which normally gives a broader meaning, going beyond what is usual, regular, or customary, exceptional to a very marked extent of a financial transaction. But that's but yeah, man, to think on a spiritual mindset or a level, to think on that level, you know, you have to be thinking from a very exceptional. You have to slog it. My bad. Going beyond what is usual, regular, customary. So you're gonna have to think on a level which isn't usual, the usual mindset of the masses of people. Okay. So knowing and having your faith and fear of the Lord, that whatever you're placed in front of, you're going to be delivered from. Think of the mindset that David had to be in when he went up against Goliath. Okay, you know, especially how it's explained in the scriptures that, you know, Daniel not being of a great stature, or, you know what I'm saying, going up against a giant, you know, his mindset had to been on thinking on a very high spiritual level, knowing that, hey, with the Lord behind me, who could be against me? Did any ever trust in the Lord and was confounded? So he went into it thinking like, hey man, I see this big motherfucker in front of me, but I know one thing, I fear the Lord. And with that being said, hey man, I'm going to defeat this. I'm going to defeat this obstacle. Okay? No matter what, I'm going to win. And that's the mindset we're going to have to be in. That's the mindset that we're going to have to be in going into Jacob's trouble, going up against our enemies, defeating our enemy and trying to mark us as his property, or becoming the ultimate God over us, man. You know, here it is, we in this system, we in Babylon, we under these rulers, but we don't fear them. We fear the Lord. Okay, I'm speaking of those that are in the know of who their true power is. I see Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, the time that we're coming in, if our mind ain't fully set, or the Lord ain't delivering those instructions and those downloads, you know, to have no fear in those situations, how can you think on an extraordinary level that you're going to be delivered from it? You know, just look at the different obstacles that you were delivered from, you know, before coming into this truth. You know, you look back on your life, you know, the different walks of life that we all come from, to eventually get us to where we at now in belief, like the different financial situations, the different relationships we was in, how families, you know, certain things go down in people's families where it's hard to make it out of it as a child, man. You know, you got predators, sexual predators, mental predators, whatever, man. Some of us was dipping and dabbling in the streets, drugs, whatever, man. And Lord, guess what? Delivered you out of that, reprogrammed your whole way of thinking, and put you in a more spiritual mindset. Okay, I gotta check something real quick. Yeah, so we see these different the mindset we was delivered from, the way of thinking we were delivered out of, to where we are now, to have a faith and trust and believe that, hey man, when things seem like it's going to be impossible, the Lord's going to send deliverance. He's going to send his angels up against the so-called top armies, navies, militaries in the world, so-called in the world, defeat them, destroy a whole goddamn continent, okay, in 1 hour that took hundreds of years to build up, and deliver a select few in chariots, man. UFOs, okay? Vehicles of the angels. So, you know, I'm just quoting a lot of things, and I'm speaking spiritually. And don't have any scriptures lined up, but I'm quoting a few. And a brother made an example on the comment board on how Daniel feared Yahweh and got delivered out of the situation that he was in. You think of the Maccabees, the brothers with the mother, and I forget who that man was, but I think he was a man of importance, but they tried to get him to fake like he ate the pork to get the rest of the people to eat it and be obedient in obedience to the wicked heathen king. So the mother showed the ultimate faith. The son showed faith that, hey man, I fear the Lord, so hey, I'm not eating no damn pork. Crucify me, you know, throw me in a pot, a cauldron, or if I'm saying it right, throw me in that pot of boiling water, skin me alive, cut fingers, hands, and limbs off, man. Pull out teeth. Do what you gotta do, but I'm going to continue to maintain and have my fear in the Lord, knowing that He will deliver me out of this. Whether I go to the finish line carrying one of my feet, carrying one of my feet, or one of my legs, or you know, limbless, just rolling to the finish line, man. Or even knowing that if we lose our life before that day happens, that hey, we're gonna come back with new bodies. We're gonna come back and see the victory, okay? See the deliverance, man. So, hey man, we're gonna have to be programmed to be in that extraordinary mindset to know that we're gonna be delivered. So if we think it carnally, like just think about it, you know, if an EMP attack, you know, the darkness, you always picture yourself, you know, me myself, like I picture the book of Eli, how he was, you know, and it took me to like the second time I watched that movie to know that he was blind the whole time. But just think of total darkness. Just think of you know, being in total darkness after EMP attack. Let me check this connection real quick. Yeah, just think of being in total darkness, right? Being in that darkness, you know, wandering about, escaping from the different militaries that's going to be here in America, wreaking havoc, raping, pillaging, creating spoils of war, you know, just total chaos going on around you, right? And knowing that, hey, you're going to be guided, like Denzel's character in that movie, he was guided by faith. He wasn't guided thinking carnally. Of course, he had to get into some carnal situations where he had to kick some ass, man. He had to swing that sword. I think a few instances, no, he pretty much was just swinging that sword. I don't remember a situation where he had to bang that iron or shoot a gun, you know. Probably go back and watch that again. That's always a good watch every now and then. Braveheart, Apocalypto, and those are all movies of examples of being in the mindset of making it out of an impossible situation, huh? So he walked that whole movie by faith. And that's how we're going to have to walk going into the times to come, the future times at hand, man. Okay? Like, man, what am I going to do? It's going to be a fearful thing, but at the same time, the Lord is going to put that calming spirit on. He's going to be that comforter, man. So we're going through these things now, building up our spirit, so that we'll be able to cash in when it's time to. When we actually walk in that straight path in Jacob's trouble, man. Because right now, things are still operational. We see the prophecies happen. We see certain things going on, which is going to lead to that. But guess what? It's all the buildup, We're going through certain things in repetition. We're going to fail at certain things, which is ultimately going to make us better. We're being ran through that fire. Okay, we're being tried. So yeah, man. Even Jonah, he tried to run from his he tried to run away from his obligation to the Lord, man. He tried to run from it. But the Lord, like, nigga, I hate to be so vague, but you're gonna get your shit together and you're gonna go to Nineveh, you're gonna prophesy against it. So he swallowed him up in a beast, a sea creature, and he delivered him to that town where he was told to go prophesy against. Even though it didn't get destroyed right then and there, but years later, I forget how many years. I'm gonna have to look into that again. I heard it brought out. I forget how many years. Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick search if I can safely. Just bear with me. Years later was Nineveh destroyed after Daniel prophesied. Okay, so it says it seems that Nineveh lasted somewhere around 200 years after Jonah preached there. Well, actually, he prophesied. Yeah, he preached. He brought out the word. He brought out prophecy. He gave the testimony of Yahweh Shai and prophesied against a wicked place. And that's what we're doing, the work of Jonah today. Jonah could very well be here today, thinking that he's fleeing order to go, prophesy, You get that calling, man. You got to answer that calling. His scriptures say, for the Lord knocks once, twice, and man perceiveth not. So when you receive that calling, hey, man, some of us straightway got our mind, eyes single, learned this word, learned the breakdowns, built up our confidence, and we out here prophesying and teaching, man. That's an example of an extraordinary event, or being programmed and put into a spiritual mindset, man. Because if this thing was of man on a carnal level, it would come to naught, man. We wouldn't have had a ministry we had today that was established since Abba Bivens, that we had faith and a spiritual mindset to believe that when he came, he delivered the children back to the fathers, the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. We fully believe that, to where the ministry we had today from our elders and apostles on down, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Rakar, the different elders on down, the different camps that were set up. Because when the Spirit got on Apostle Tahar to get on the YouTube, other camps just started popping up. Dallas, LA, Indiana, Chicago, Baltimore, Arizona, Tanzania, South Africa, Germany, England, man, we everywhere, man. And that all took a spiritual mindset for it to happen, man, to what we have today. And guess what? We know that through the prophecies, when we really get into that time of Jacob's trouble, because this is just the preliminary event. No, this is just the the scrimmages, even though it's real life. But this is just the events that's going to lead up to the ultimate event, man. Hold on, let me check. Hey, man, so I can keep losing connection. I'm on the plantation. But just wanted to find some time to bring out some edification. So yeah, man, I'm gonna close this out. But yeah, like I was speaking, man, it's gonna take a spiritual mindset, or for you to be thinking on an extraordinary level to know that what is written, we're gonna make it out of impossible situations. We're gonna be delivered, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm gonna come back later with a more planned out lesson, precepts and scriptures on deck. I'm just was quoting a few. But hey, man, Lord willing, this was edifying. Just know it, man. We're gonna make it out of impossible situations, but thinking on a carnal level, it would never happen, man. So with that, just want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Avakwa Kadash, and double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and the sincere shalom to all you Akim laboring in truth and sincerity, sound doctrine. Shalom and death to America, man. Mawaf Lababal. Shalom.